This is about carbohydrates, and we are going to be learning about the monomers of carbohydrates and the polymers and the function. Okay, so we have monosaccharides. We've learned in the previous lesson about dehydration synthesis, meaning we are removing water to form covalent bonds. So if it's linear, it is more structural support, and if it's branched, it has more of an energy storage function. Now, if we start with monosaccharides, monosaccharides is a simple sugar. Mono means one and saccharide means sugar. So it literally translates to one sugar. And that could be any of these. It could be glucose, galactose, fructose, or any other monosaccharide. Polysaccharides are polymers. So poly means many. So when there are many sugars attached with covalent bonds, it is the polymer. Okay, the polymer of carbohydrates is called a polysaccharide. So here we can see the covalent bonds bonding all these monomers together, forming a long chain. Okay, so once again, the monosaccharides join together to form polysaccharides, which is the carbohydrate polymer. So if we connect this back to dehydration synthesis, if I have sugar units, here there will be a dehydration synthesis, so there will be a water released, and over here there will also be a water released. Okay, so we have water that's being released, and that forms a covalent bond between the monomers, forming a polymer. Now, carbohydrate polymers can be linear. Okay, linear just means that it has these straight lines. Okay, they're linear. Some carbohydrates form long, straight lines, and this can help with strong structural. So this is for structure. Plant cell walls are made of linear polymers called cellulose. Like we can't digest that. So when we eat that, that is fiber because we don't have enzymes to break this down. So it forms part of structure. It's like building blocks. And if they are branched, so what it means if it's branched, it means that you have branches coming off it like a tree. And if it's branched like this, it could either be one or two things. It could be starch in plants. So this is how plants store sugar. In plants, they store it as starch, and in animals, we store that as glycogen. So if it has this branched arrangement, it is for energy storage. So just a quick recap, if we look at the difference between storage versus structure, if it has the linear structure, if it has the linear arrangement, it is for structure, okay? And if it has branched arrangement, it is for energy storage. So it's the storage of carbohydrates. And the examples here are plants store starch and animals store glycogen. So when we need that sugar again, we can use an hydrolysis reaction to break those sugars apart and then use it again. So the function depends on how the monosaccharides are connected. So same building blocks, different functions. Because the structure of a polymer can differ. Now, the main reasoning pattern is that the monosaccharides, so this monosaccharide and monosaccharide and monosaccharide, okay, they can arrange themselves in different patterns. So they can either arrange themselves in one long chain or they can branch. This leads to the polysaccharide structure, okay? And because of that arrangement, it leads to a specific function. So either if it's linear or branched, it could be for storage or structural support. Things you do not need to memorize are like the molecular structure of specific carbohydrate polymers, detailed glycosidic bond patterns. You don't need to know that it's a glycosidic bond. You just need to know that this is a covalent bond. Okay. And alpha and beta linkage details, exact shape of cellulose, starch, or glycogen, you don't need to know. The chemical formulas, that's beyond what you need to know for AP biology. So the focus is rather that you look at the structure. Okay, if you can look at the structure and the function at a polymer level. To give a biological scenario, a student is comparing two carbohydrates. Okay, polymer A is linear and forms strong fibers and is found in cell walls. And polymer B is branched and stores many sugars in animal cells. Okay, now explain why these two carbohydrates can have different functions even though they are both made from simple sugar monomers. So even though they are made from the same monomers, okay, they have the polymer is a very, very different shape. So both carbohydrates are made of monosaccharides, but they differ in arrangements. Okay, this affects their function because if you have a linear arrangement, it is more for structure. And if you have a branched arrangement, it is more for storage. If you enjoyed today's lesson, please don't forget to like and subscribe and come join us on the Skool.com community page where you'll find AP Bio blueprints. And if you take a look inside, you will find that Unit 1 is completely free. See you there.